She has arrived to Monday Night Raw. Kairi Sane. And there is your newest addition to the Raw Women's roster. The very first Monday Night Raw of 2019. Bobby Roode will face Hirooki Goto 1-on-1 for the US title. Oh my goodness, Benjamin has brought a chair into the ring now. Here comes Cesaro. Cesaro to the save and chasing off Benjamin with that chair. CM Punk 1-on-1 with Sting. It's the villain and all. Low blow to Sting. The villain standing above a broken vigilante. Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Monday Night Raw. We had our break and we are back. And it is time for Raw to introduce us back into the swing of things as we prepare for, of course, the Royal Rumble. On its way as of course, a few weeks from now. It's not that far away at all, and it's going to be a very, very interesting evening. As will tonight, to be fair, the first episode of Universe of the New Year. And we are kicking things off in an almighty fashion because there are two big things happening on this show that we can discuss right now. One of them is Ronda Rousey in action again, taking on Sonya Deville later on this evening. We know it's going to be a treat to see Rousey in action once more as the women's division heats up, heading towards that Royal Rumble event. But the main event of the evening, set in stone on the last Raw, Hirooki Goto to get his rematch here tonight in the main event of the evening against Bobby Roode. It's going to be a colossal match between those two, an Armageddon rematch on its way. But unfortunately, it's not how we start the evening, because that is with the villain. Oh yeah, here he is. Yeah, he is. Marty Scurll in the ring. We saw him last week with a low blow to Sting, taking him out of the equation for a little bit. Sting not here tonight, I can confirm, and Scurll enjoying it, saying that he is glad to be back in his own way. He's here to make everyone's life a misery, and he's here to annoy all the numpties once again. He says to them, though, they better be happy to see someone like Scurll in a cesspool of a city like this. Scurll starting things off by turning his attacks not towards Sting or Raw, but rather the fans. And in Scurll's eyes, he believes that he exterminated Sting last week because a pest like him is not liked around here. They believe that the people are getting brainwashed by the Stinger, and that Scurll is supposed to be the villain. He believes that Dredge is controlling the people into believing what they believe. Your nickname is literally the villain. You spell out your own story. But Scurll believes he is the true hero here. He is the one supposed to save everyone from the monster, the one and only Sting. And in Scurll's eyes, he will end Sting, and he will prove that he is that hero. You are literally called the villain. Jesus Christ, how are you a hero? Scurll continuing on by saying this is the start of a new era, an era where the old ones are gone and the much more talented ones step in their place. It is the start of the villain's era. You're contradicting yourself again. But there you go. Marty Scurll is talking about it. It will end with the villain reigning supreme. And that is that. Marty Scurll returning with words and actions towards Sting, warning him of an eventual conflict between the two. And you know the very date where Scurll would like that to take place. All it takes is one confirmation and a rematch is on between those two sides. And honestly, with the actions he's been taking into his own hands as of late, it's pretty much the case that only Scurll remains as the viable number one contender. But as sickening as that is to think about. But nevertheless, we move on here with another match from Armageddon to talk about. This one will be kicking off this evening. Cesaro versus Shelton Benjamin 1-on-1 here. Cesaro, of course, made the save on Sami Zayn last week, stopped being attacked with a steel chair after the match against Benjamin. And Zayn has rewarded him and returned the favor by being at ringside for him here tonight for his match against Shelton Benjamin. Whether or not that'll make a difference, we will be finding out in this matchup. It's Cesaro ready for a shot at revenge, for a shot at getting one back over the man who beat him at Armageddon. Thought business, of course, was over between these two, but that certainly was not the case. Things, it seemed, would kind of just the wheel continuing to turn around in motion at Armageddon. Although Benjamin picked up the win there, himself and Cesaro have not ended their involvement with one another, and we're seeing that right now to kick things off here on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Benjamin ready to go. The Gold Standard believes, of course, this is his year and his time. And another win over Cesaro, even with Sami Zayn in his corner, could well put that all out to past. Could well prove that Benjamin is legit. Could well prove that Benjamin is sticking to his guns and that Benjamin is on his way towards greatness. Who knows? The result of this match may well have an impact on the Royal Rumble. We'll see about that one, but here we go. The bell rings and we are underway between these two guys in that rematch from Armageddon. Big night of action here on Raw, there's no doubt about it. Bobby Lashley will be here later on this evening. He's going to be having a great match against Daniel Bryan. The Revival also going to be here as well. Of course, that main event to discuss as well. But as for right now, Benjamin and Cesaro locking horns once again. These guys had quite the tested rivalry heading into Armageddon. Benjamin turned his back on Cesaro during a match and believed that he had to do it because everyone had turned his back on him. They screwed him out of a chance at Glory. Screwed him out of a chance at the title by voting in Hiroshi Tanahashi instead. Benjamin believes all of that, but now it is time to see if that all is going to be true. Big dropkick and down goes Cesaro. Rolling to the outside is Benjamin, taking a breather, getting in the eyes of Sami Zayn, I believe, perhaps trying to get into his skin a little bit as we resume this match here. Big T-bone suplex cover made by Benjamin. Only a 1 count, however. Benjamin taking over right there. Big clothesline. Down goes Cesaro once again. Let's see what he's going to do here. Nice knee right in that face. Shelton Benjamin trying to take control the best way that he can, but Cesaro doing everything in his power to stop him. You've got to think that Cesaro's got even more fired up since that loss at Armageddon. The loss was one thing, and that was a disappointment for him. And then to realize what happened last week on Raw, surely has to take Cesaro a step further in wanting this victory over Shelton Benjamin. Nice backbreaker there. Elbow drop after it by Benjamin, and here we go now. Things continuing on between these guys. Cracking forearm from Shelton Benjamin. Seems if when it comes to the big moves, Benjamin knowing how to execute them, as down face first goes Cesaro. Benjamin turning things around here. He's the one in control in this matchup right now. There's no doubt about it. Double underhook suplex on Cesaro. Goes into the cover. Looking to put him away once again. 2 counts. Zayn a non-factor at ringside right now, kind of just watching on as these two guys do battle in the ring, which is a very interesting thing in its own right to be bearing eyes on here. Cesaro, I talked about him being fired up, and he needs to really demonstrate that as he gets himself out of that hold there, punching his way out of it and continuing his way forth here. Big lariat in the back of the head there. Cesaro picks him up. There's the uppercut right into the chest. And he thinks he's done enough to put Benjamin away with it here. Whoa, that's a very early kick out by Shelton Benjamin. But the Gold Standard is now reeling. He's on the back foot and he needs to find his way right back into this thing. But he might not get the opportunity. He might not get the opportunity. Right in front of Sami Zayn. Cesaro. Sharpshooter. Benjamin forced to look at Zayn as it's locked in as well. Zayn looking in the eyes of Benjamin as revenge for last week, and Benjamin, can he fight out of this hold? No, he cannot. Shelton Benjamin taps out. Cesaro wins. And sweet, sweet revenge, not only for Armageddon, but for last week as well, returned by Cesaro. Thank you very much. The Swiss Superman will happily take that win. Revenge must feel so sweet for the Swiss Superman and for Sami Zayn as well, who stood outside watching that victory. Great way to kick things off on Raw there. A fired up match between those two. Now we move on to the next contest of the evening. The former World Tag Team Champions making their way out. The Revival heading towards the ring right now for a tag team action here. Of course, they have been wanting, well, they're kind of a part of everything that we're seeing in the tag team division right now. The tag team division getting a bit of a facelift now that the Authors of Pain are at the top. Of course, you think about it, Dawson and Wilder were former tag team champions, but we've been seeing a lot of different teams getting opportunities as of late, and a lot of different teams being able to stand out as well. TM61 was one. There's no doubt about that one. I feel like there's one team I'm missing out on from last week. The Ascension, there you go. Getting themselves back in the fray, and there's still a good chunk of other teams as well for there to be some intrigue in this brand. I mean, you've got Ryder and Christian maybe, you've got Heavy Machinery. American Alpha is still up there, there's no doubt about that one. Yeah, there's Magnum Opus, but we don't need to worry about them. Nice Tiger Bomb from the get-go there, though, from Scott Dawson as he starts off this matchup against Zack Ryder. Dropkick here from Ryder, the two-time US champion, teaming, of course, with the former US champion as well, and Christian. The Revival, former two-time two-time tag team champions, once with the WWE Tag Team titles, the second reign, of course, with the World Tag Team titles at about the midpoint of this year before losing them to American Alpha on the first Raw of this series of this universe. And the thing is, with all these matches we're witnessing and all the tag teams that are coming in and really kind of shaping themselves up for a future chance, there's also a lot more competition opening up for the Authors of Pain and Drake Maverick to pay attention to. It's not as plain sailing as they would have originally seen or maybe hoped for as well. Not that easy for them, there's no doubt about that one. Double elbows into the chest of Dawson there as Christian now is the legal man in this matchup. Drop kick attempt is countered. Lariat is also countered. Nice counter there by Scott Dawson, forearm in the face, and he's definitely looking to get Dash Wilder into this thing now. And indeed he will. Tag made, Wilder in. Look at this now, the Revival doing things their own way, working over a limb and targeting it as well. Dawson in. Big powerbomb, or well, just really a toss from out of the turnbuckle. Wilder the legal man in this one now. And the Revival looking to corner off the ring, looking to take charge, looking to dominate in their own way. Let's see if they can guarantee just that they want. We are about to find out here. Wilder just came running in. Sorry, Dawson just came running in and flattened Zack Ryder in the process there. And it seems if the Revival might be trying to go about things a little bit more viciously than originally intended. Ryder still trying to recover on the outside for being absolutely blasted out of thin air. And the Revival now sectioning off Christian and just dominating him, choking him in the turnbuckle. They tag made. Dawson going to make his way back in this matchup now. Trying to make the tag into Ryder. Christian, I think, was trying to crawl over to Zack Ryder with everything he had in him. Not going to happen. Tag was made for one simple yet effective reason. To end it. Shadow Machine! And the jump worked. The 2-on-1 advantage worked. And the win will work out for the Revival as well. There they are. Our former World Tag Team Champions. Back in the winning books. Back where they want to be, on top. Victory for them, and they seem proud of it. The tag team wrestling, the Revival know the book so well, and they fully capitalized on it right then and there. The Revival, your winners, and along with the likes of the Ascension and TM61, certainly mounting a future charge maybe towards those tag team titles. There's a lot of competition for the Authors of Pain to have to focus on. But the question is, of course, are they prepared for it? I would want to say yes. Time, of course, can only tell. The Revival, your winners. But up next, it's a big one. Ronda Rousey's in action once again here on Monday Night Raw. Happy days indeed for the arrival of the rowdy one. And she has not got an easy opponent at all. Sonya Deville has certainly been showing her class, her strides, and indeed her toughness in every match that we've seen her in. What was the last one that she was at? Carmella, I think was the last one a little while ago, where she dominated Carmella in that matchup. Herself and Mandy Rose have been quite the duo. There's no doubt about that one, as things have been picking themselves up on the Raw Women's Division. I mean, you look at Deville, you look at Rose, and now you have to question, after the Mae Young Classic has come to an end, where that winner and, of course, the runner-up goes. Give you a few seconds to not spoil it for you. 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiling it for you. It's a question over where the winner, Jordynne Grace, and where the runner-up, Meiko Satomura, goes. They both had stellar performances. They both have guaranteed contracts on the main roster, but the main thing is that Jordynne Grace, from winning the tournament, has herself a guaranteed championship opportunity. It's, of course, the question of when she wants to cash that in, when she wants to sign that contract that matters. Does she want to close out some dates maybe elsewhere? Does she want to take a break after that grueling tournament? That may be a question to be asked. But the reality of the situation is that until then, this Raw Women's Division is still picking up. I mean, look at last week. Kairi Sane made her debut in this place. It's a huge roster. And I love every part of it as well. Rousey, Sane, Asuka, Grace if she signs. Those are 4 huge names in this division. Rosemary's still in the play. Still got the likes of Bliss as well, Gail Kim. There's plenty to talk about in this division, there's no doubt about it. But here we go between Deville and Rousey, 2 similar athletes in their own way. Both have that MMA pedigree to them. And you can easily tell Ronda Rousey is the favorite in this one, as Deville, though, looks to try and cause an upset here with a strong start. Knee in the back right there. Ronda off to a bit of a slow start in this one. Deville trying to take care of business. We're getting dumped over the top rope there. Ronda Rousey now going to the outside here. She realizes the opportunity that awaits her. Think about it. Rousey, this is her 3rd match on Raw since joining, and she's already had 2 pretty big opponents. Think about it. She's had Rosemary, who is arguably still the 2nd biggest name in terms of talent on this brand, and Alexa Bliss, a very fine, credible athlete in her own right as well. So there is plenty to look at in terms of Rousey's accomplishments so far. She's going to look to add to that here with a victory over Sonya Deville, who, as I said, is also standing out in her own right. Nice back suplex there, followed through with it by Ronda Rousey into the cover. Deville able to kick out right away, though. Business continuing on between these 2 women. Been speeding through this night of Monday Night Raw action so far, but now is where the matches start to get a little bit more bigger. Kind of had that little bit of a grace period, I guess, to get back into the groove of things, and now here we go, 100 miles an hour. Rousey now, Lashley and Bryan up next in that main event as well, that US title rematch. It's going to be incredible. Great amateur wrestling takedown there by Ronda Rousey. Mandy Rose trying to get involved here, trying to cause a distraction to get her to get a ally back in this one. Deville going to hope for it. Front face lock. Ronda not interested. Counters her way out of it. Arm twist there and down goes Sonya Deville, and again with a judo throw. An elbow into the arm. Ronda Rousey softening that up there for the arm bar of hers. Ronda going to put her up on his shoulders here for the twisting. Samoan drop from Ronda Rousey. Moves over into the cover. Is Deville done for? No, Sonya Deville still kicking out, but she needs to do something right now to get a huge upset for her. She needs to do something to cause a big win over Ronda Rousey, and she needs it quick. Hell, even Mandy Rose might need to get involved in this one. Ronda and Sonya in that collar elbow tie, but Sonya Deville, who wins, went in for a sliding clothesline as well. Missed with it, but able to capitalize. Cutting row in the back, gets countered. Ronda going to take her down again. Indeed she is. Look at this, Mandy Rose sliding in a steel chair in the hopes and desperations that something may come of this. But that may all be put out to past, because Ronda's setting up, and here we go. Nowhere to turn to. The armbar is applied. Armbar locked in, and the crowd cheering on Ronda. Will it work out? Yes, it will. Deville taps out. Ronda Rousey wins. And there she does it again. Ronda Rousey, your winner in another match on Monday Night Raw. I don't know who's next in line for the Raw Women's Championship. I don't even know when that title's going to be defended. It may well be at the Royal Rumble. I can only speculate. I doubt it, honestly. But that being said, Rousey with another strong performance there as she truly shows what she is worth to the Monday Night Raw brand. Rousey, your winner. And with all the stars on this brand right now, Asuka, I imagine, is somewhere right now, clutching onto her title a little tight. But here we go. The big matches shall continue. The great matches as well shall continue. Bobby Lashley wants a true test of what he can do on this brand. He wants to see what he's capable of. Well, why not do it against pretty much the benchmark of Monday Night Raw? The guy who you always want to prove yourself against, whether or not he's lost 9 in a row or won 9 in a row. You always want to prove yourself against Daniel Bryan. That's how things go around here. Bryan is the embodiment of Monday Night Raw. He may not be the face of it, like Sting. He may not be one of the biggest, he may not be one of the most frequently talked about names on it as well, like Marty Scurll. But what he is Monday Night Raw. He is what Monday Night Raw is about. He is the living embodiment of it. Monday Night Raw is Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan is Monday Night Raw. And there is one simple reason for that. For the moment, from day one we started this universe, there is pretty much one guy. I can't think of another. There isn't another who's been around as long as Daniel Bryan has and hasn't changed brands. Daniel Bryan has done everything on this brand twice. World titles, 2 of them. US titles, 2 of them. World Tag Team titles, 3 of them. But his tests continue on here. Daniel Bryan still got to prepare and still got to be ready as here comes Bobby Lashley into the fray. Lashley made his return to this universe 2 weeks ago against Roman Reigns. Reigns shook his hand in quite the surprising gesture, but since then, we haven't seen anything of Roman Reigns. We haven't heard anything of Roman Reigns as well. I'm speculating that loss to Lashley may have been a bit of a breaking point for Reigns. May have gone into Reigns' mind that maybe it's in his best intentions to take a break, to relax, even in the week off. Nothing was heard from Roman Reigns, according to the Raw General Manager, so at least that's what he said to me before the show went on the air. So we wait to see what will happen regarding all of that. I am interested to find out about that, but that maintains to be seen about what happens with Reigns. And in a way, this moment, it isn't about Reigns. It's about Lashley and Bryan and what this can mean going forward. Obviously, the World Heavyweight Championship division seems occupied with Scurll and Sting. And there you go, even with Lashley's return 2 weeks ago, and even with them welcoming back as well, Daniel Bryan still has home court advantage. What I was going to say was, with Sting and Scurll really locking up the World title division, the US title, maybe a factor at the Royal Rumble. The main thing to think about is the Royal Rumble match itself, and I think that has got to be on the mind of a lot of people now, is that Rumble match. Is it something for them? Is it a place for them to go? They'd certainly hope so. You can make yourself a star on that evening. Look at this back and forth chain wrestling here between these two guys. Bryan gets out of it, hops back into the side headlock there. Lashley, though, forcing them up to their feet, and it's a stalemate between the two. That was incredible. Lashley going to use his power. Bryan using his speed and his agility to get out of it. Great DDT. Daniel Bryan's going to have to use that if he wants to overcome Bobby Lashley. He's going to need to use his speed, his agility, and his cunning to overcome Lashley. Through the ropes he goes there with that drop kick. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. Bryan's going to have to be quicker, smarter. And I think, well, he can. I think Bryan is the smarter in-ring wrestler of the two. And I'm not going to be convinced otherwise that Bryan isn't one of the smartest wrestlers around in terms of ring IQ. Daniel Bryan knows every inch of that ring and knows how to utilize it. Who maybe knows more on the Night Raw? Maybe Tanahashi? Maybe? That's an argument for a different day, though. I don't think we've seen Daniel Bryan versus Tanahashi, have we? Oh, God, I'd love that. Up against the ropes now is Lashley. Irish whip there. Bryan. Irish whip by Lashley and just Lashley's body weight essentially launching its way into Daniel Bryan. Bryan getting up now to his feet, elbowing his way out of that chin lock. Great strength shown by Bryan. Northern Light suplex on the big man. Goes for the cover. Lashley kicks out early, however. Lashley with a great counter there. Fair play to him for being gone for so long. Lashley showing absolutely no signs of ring rust whatsoever. We saw that against Reigns. We also saw against Reigns was his toughness. His ability to survive the spear, the Superman punch. I mean, even if it was against a Reigns who was fighting his third match in 24 hours, it still was impressive. How's he going to compete against a fairly fresh Daniel Bryan? Everyone, of course, has had a week off to recover over the New Year's. And Daniel Bryan probably was training in that time, knowing him, training how to make these kicks even more vicious, how to make them even more pinpoint, how to have even more effect, and how to really ring it across someone's head. Lashley reeling right now, on the back foot, flying, goat incoming. Lashley moved out of the way of it though. Bryan hit hard into the mat as a result of it. Lashley using his strength. Oh, gorilla press gutbuster. Bryan though, credit where it's due to him. Do you see the way he just got up to his feet there? Trying to continue on with business, but getting crushed by the lariat in the corner there by Lashley, who goes into the cover here, thinking he's done enough to put away Bryan. Not going to happen. Yeah, great contest thus far. The pendulum swinging back and forth with both guys. Great move there by Bryan. Wait a minute. Bryan might be looking to end a very new hot streak to Lashley. Running knee from Daniel Bryan. Will that finish Lashley here? No! Lashley gets the shoulder up just in time. Stays in this one. Just like the spear when he returned, it is not enough, but Bryan knows. I think Bryan may have been anticipating that it wasn't enough, because look at the way he's maintained control of this match. But Lashley just able to use his power at any given time to get right back into it. Huge belly to belly from Lashley, and Bryan reeling there, rolling out to the apron. Once again, ring IQ taking over. Big shoulder tackle though, and Bryan's ring IQ was not enough certainly there to counter the power of Lashley. On the outside, these two athletes go now. Plenty to play for, but back in the ring we seem to be going as well. Daniel Bryan going to go up to the top rope here. Will this pay out the way he wants it to? Bryan, drop kick, had to really hit the mark right there. And he did, fair play to him. DDT attempt. Lashley though, once again powering his way out. Big shots in the ribs, and a lariat sends him down once again. Daniel Bryan can only do so much, regardless of intelligence, to counteract that huge power advantage Lashley has. Full Nelson spinning slam there by Lashley. What now from him? Up in the air. Gorilla press power slam. Lashley might be looking to end things right about now. Goes into the cover on Bryan. Will this end things here? Wow! The heart of Bryan says absolutely no way, and kicks out at the count of one. Lashley could well make him pay for such a decision. Chokehand spinebuster. And Bryan could be a sitting duck to the power that's incoming. The power of the spear. Bryan evades it. What a leap from Daniel Bryan to get out of that one. Lashley truly being tested. Daniel Bryan hanging in there. He is not going down without a fight. Good comeback there. Kicking the ribs. Quick strikes being executed by Bryan. Oh no. Lashley taking a tumble to the outside. I already know what Daniel Bryan has in his mind. Bryan wants a win more than anything. Suicide dive! And they crash and burn hard on the outside. And I agree with these chants right now. This is indeed a phenomenal contest between two phenomenal athletes. This has been a joy to watch thus far, but Bryan knows he still hasn't done enough to put away Lashley on the ropes. Big drop kick, but Lashley evaded it. Lashley evades it, goes into the cover. This might be a panic move by Lashley, and Bryan showing his resiliency by being able to kick out that early. Bryan, look at the way he forced himself right back up to his feet. He knew Lashley might have been thinking another spear, and Bryan may not have had it in him to get out of that one. But here we go. with everything he's got in him. Daniel Bryan fighting back. Huge backflip over the ropes there. Ducks the clothesline. Hits the elbow. And Lashley goes down. Bryan's fired up here. Forearm there. Disrespectful slap as well. Bryan trying to get everything he can out of Bobby Lashley. Huge overhead belly to belly connects though. And Bobby Roode. Don't know why I said his name. Lashley, however, looking perhaps to try and close things out. Bryan taking a moment to recover on the outside. Knew it was necessary. Will that play to his advantage? Not when you're getting rocked by a lariat like that one. Dragon Sleeper. Dragon Sleeper applied now by Lashley. Looking for a tap out win. If there's one guy you're going to struggle to tap out, it is going to be Daniel Bryan. And with those knees in the head, he proves it. Fighting his way out of that one. Great work by Bryan there. Elbow in the knee. Oh no, Lashley going to look to show off incredible strength. Stalling. Vertical suplex. Look at the power he possesses as he connects with it. Will that finish things off here in this incredible contest? No! A kick out of 2 by Daniel Bryan. But it may well have been all for nothing. The Dominator! And with an incredible Dominator ends an incredible contest. Bobby Lashley wins again. What a match that was. Talk about two guys sacrificing everything for the same common goal, and they realize it as well. Lashley offers the respect of Bryan, who can only return it. A shake of the hands between these two men. And fair play, what a contest it was. Though Bryan walks out of the ring, things aren't done yet. Lashley taking the microphone right now. I'm surprised after that grueling contest he has stuff that he needs to say. But it's Lashley saying that after so many years away, it feels so damn good to be back in this universe, and it's safe to say he hasn't lost his touch either. But there is something that Lashley needs to address, and there is something that he needs to talk about. It's not a long story. It's not going to be a complex one for us either. Bobby Lashley, I agree with him. He has not lost a bit of his edge, really. The two big names on Monday Night Raw, 2 big wins for Bobby Lashley as well. Lashley also stating that he never really planned on making a return to this universe, believed his best days were past him in that regard, but Dredge made him an offer he could not refuse, and that included a deal in this year's Royal Rumble match, as well as getting the chance to whoop asses week in and week out. He is going to whoop everyone in the Royal Rumble as well, and go on to become the world champion in the main event of WrestleMania. As Bobby Lashley says, just you wait and see. Well, there you have it. You want a guy in this Rumble. You got it. The first name revealed for this year's Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley. And what a name that is to add into the fray. Well, there you go. Big news to talk about coming out of that one, but it is time for our main event of the evening. We can talk about Lashley's involvement later on, but now the Armageddon rematch comes about. Now it is time for these guys to toughen up. We saw how it ended at Armageddon. There was questions over the legitimacy of Roode's reign, going by the way in which he wanted, of course, that roll-up, that surprise victory over Goto. Goto said that he had lost and he just had to accept it. However, regardless of that situation, Goto got his rematch. And I have to commend Bobby Roode on that. I have to say right now, that was a great act of respect and just a true champion in Bobby Roode to say, look, there's doubts over my win. Goto deserves a rematch. He's getting his rematch. And it happens here in this main event. Fair play to all parties involved for getting this match to happen as well. Think about how long, because there's also the thing of how long it took Goto to get this US title around his waist. It took him 3 months to get this title around his waist, and it was gone in 4 weeks. That feeling cannot be justified for Goto, but it could change here tonight. All it needs is one more win for Goto, and I'm not going to lie, he could probably do it. He can probably pull it off. Goto against Roode here tonight in the main event of the evening. I gotta be honest, whichever way I look at it, I think the loser of this match still has an opportunity in front of him in the Royal Rumble. I think it is now time we can start talking about the Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania. I truthfully believe that is the case. We are, what, 3 shows from each brand away until the Royal Rumble? That's pretty damn close. However, the week off that we took, the break that we had, took a little bit of a slowdown on what happens there. But as a result, doesn't matter. We got some things out of the way and we go full steam ahead as we always do in this universe towards the Royal Rumble. But now we go full steam into this main event as well. Goto awaits in the ring. He got to stand backstage and prepare himself for this match back there with the US title around his waist the last time he saw this entrance. Now it's the opposite. He stands in the ring and he looks at the man who holds the United States Championship. He looks at the United States Champion himself. He has to. And as Roode soaks in this entrance and soaks in the crowd singing along to his theme, he also does it as the United States Champion, and that can only be defined as one word. It is the word on the back of the robe, and it is the word that is key to his song, and it is the word that is on the Titantron. Glorious for Bobby Roode. He closed 2018 the same way he started it, with a championship around his waist. A strong year for Bobby Roode, there's no doubting it. Can he start this year just as strong with a win over Hirooki Goto? That would be huge if it was to happen, but I don't know. I have to say, I don't think Roode, for the very important thing right at the start, I want to say I don't think Roode's going to go down the same route, and I think Goto has that route scouted anyway. I don't think the roll-up would work, and I don't think Roode's going to go for the roll-up either. I think he knows it's a bust, basically. He knows he's going to have to win by his own means. Roode, of course, heading into the event, said he'd been training non-stop. He's been preparing for it non-stop. But let's see if that rings true. Let's see if he's right about that. Let's see if, in effect, he can put his money where his mouth is. Because yes, he's been training. Yes, he feels like he's in great shape. But Goto has as well. Goto's always in great shape. Goto seems to always be at the top of his game as well. It's why he's nominated as one of the debut stars of the year in this universe. He had a breakout year, there's no doubt about it. But to go from not even being in this universe in April to a mainstay on Monday Night Raw by December shows the caliber of talent that Hirooki Goto is. But if Bobby Roode can beat him here tonight, no roll-ups, no shenanigans, no discussions over legitimacy, Roode shows as well that he is something else as well, that he has a talent of his own incredible caliber as well. And a glorious pose made there for Roode. And as he presents the United States Championship to the referee, is he in effect presenting it back to Hirooki Goto? We are about to find that out. Goto versus Roode. US title on the line. All to play for here in the main event of Monday Night Raw. We are back with a bang. And let's see how it goes. Goto ready. Roode ready. The bell rings and we are underway with the main event of the first Monday Night Raw of the new year. Of course, these two guys know each other fairly well. They would have studied Armageddon. They would have studied each other as well and learned how to try and rile each other up. And that's exactly what Roode did right there by smacking him in the face. He wants to rile up Goto. He wants to get him fired up. Get him ready to go. But Goto not reciprocating the favor when he has to stay in the turnbuckle. Oh, that's why. Cracks him with that forearm. Discus forearm as well. And Roode goes down. This is a very strong start indeed for Hirooki Goto. Brainbuster, I believe that was, to Bobby Roode as well. Goto not messing around. He wants that title back as soon as he possibly can. Roode knew what he was getting himself into, though, when he decided he wanted this rematch. He knew he was getting himself into a plethora of strikes and hits and heavy moves from Hirooki Goto. Goto trying to go for a cover there. His foot in the chest of Roode. Not much respect showing, but when a title is on the line, it means the most to you, and you will do anything to get it back. Big spear there by Roode. Goes into the cover. Thinks he's done enough to finish things off here. Kick out at 2 there by Goto. Late toucan as well. Maybe Goto just caught a little bit off guard by it, maybe. Could have been the case. Big kick in the back. Now from Goto, though. Kick in the gut. Nope. Roode. See, he's read the kicks of Goto. He's read his move set, really. He's read where the heavy strikes are going to come in from, and that's an important thing to take into account. He knows what he's doing in that ring, and he's not going to make mistakes doing it either. Goto, though, can still just power his way through whatever Roode attempts. Big suplex there. Heavy hit there from Goto on Roode. Turning him around with a heavy strike. German suplex, and Roode's body collapsing down on itself from the power of Hirooki Goto. Nice little forearm there from Goto. It's the simple but effective moves that you have to worry about with Goto. Those forearms, they might just be a forearm for someone else, but they are a weapon when they're used by Hirooki Goto. Now look for that suplex again, it seems. Plants Roode down there. And again, he puts the foot on the gut this time to try and assert dominance. No cover made, though. Roode on the back foot right now, has to be said. He is not standing out right now, but able to evade Goto there and come back with a backbreaker. Roode's starting to fight back a little bit now. He needs to do just that over Goto here. Nice knee on the back of the head there. See the way he lined it up, worked slowly, got himself in the right place and just hit it. It's really good tactical awareness there from Roode as well. Another thing that may have happened as well is that Goto, in trying so hard to hit heavy moves and put Roode on the back foot, as he could have tied himself out right now. He could be at a worse state in terms of stamina and in terms of endurance than Bobby Roode is. And that may be where Roode's been training, that cardio. Cardio is crucial, especially as a champion, because you've got to be ready to go in these long title matches all the time. Goto's cardio is good, but did he tire himself out maybe by trying to go after Roode in the early stages? Back elbow. Neither guy could connect with what they want. Great work there by Goto. Kick the leg from underneath Bobby Roode. Gets countered by Roode, though. Nice forearm. Up on the shoulders. Fireman's carry cutter. Indeed. Specialty of Bobby Roode's right there. And Bobby Roode now still hitting big. Snapmare there. Call back to Mr. Perfect with a neck crank. Certainly a guy who Bobby Roode definitely wrestles a lot like that. Methodical pacing, working over limbs, reading the opponent's game and able to capitalize on it. Credit where it's due for him there. Good counter from Goto, though. Only a jab in the gut, but in the hands of Goto, that's enough to send someone back in that clothesline, enough to send someone over the top rope as well. If this was the Royal Rumble, Roode would have just been eliminated. Looks for a slam, gets countered. Roode pushes him away there. Oh, Goto returning the favor from earlier there. Slap in the face. No respect shown in it either. But Roode elbowing his way heavily out of that hold. Applies the front face lock after, but only did it just to hold him in place. Roode now. Big head of steam on that Irish whip, and all Goto could do was go face first into the ring pole. Count up to 7. We are back in the ring, though. Roode does not want to retain the title by count out, nor lose by count out, and retain the title through that ways. He wants to beat Goto, and he may be about to do that. Spinebuster made, connected with it, covers Goto, who kicks out at 1, and Roode can hardly believe it. Roode thinks he's about to end things, though. Roode thinks this is going to be all. Glorious DDT. Goto says no. Big counter from Goto. Backbreaker from him as well. And Goto could be in position to hit a big move. Back suplex connects, and Roode all of a sudden is on the back foot right now. He is reeling. Good counter. Big lariat. And Goto having to use the ropes to force himself up to his feet. That may give Roode some confidence as he captures his breath for a moment here against the ropes. Roode hoping for something there. Took too long. Goto able to counter. Goto turning him round. Goto! GTR! And have we just secured Goto a second US title reign? He covers Roode. 1, 2. Oh! So close. So damn close for Goto, but not close enough. Roode's resiliency hanging in there. Uppercut as Goto went for that headbutt. Great counter from Roode. Honestly, with Goto on the outside, if I was Roode, I'd create separation right now. I'd catch my breath. I'd recover any way that I could. I wouldn't go on the outside and continue the fight on. But Roode may think better. Roode may think that he can handle Goto right now. But that forearm in the face may have just proven to be otherwise. Goto using everything to his advantage as he dumps Roode down on the barricade there. Back in the ring we go now. Elbow into the face there. Goto showing no remorse with it as well. He is doing everything he can to be the US champ. And it may well be the case that one more GTR seals the deal. That could have been it. He could have been looking for it right there, but Roode countered it. Turns him round now. Heavy Irish whip leads him into a suplex attempt. Up in the air. Goto knees his way out of it. Great counter by Goto. And now he can use it to his advantage. Guy's been putting everything on the line in this main event. A great main event as well. Showing what the US title means to these two. Goto putting Roode up on the top rope. This is going to be risky. Will this pay off the way they want it to? Goto in! Superplex to Roode! No counter from the Glorious One could be found. But wow! Responding right away. Neck breaker. Seconds after the superplex. Roode now maybe trying to slow down the pace, try and catch his breath, as I said about earlier, trying to recover in whatever way that he can. He's worked over that leg of Goto a little bit now. And he's been trying to take the strikes away from Goto's arsenal of weapons as well, but Goto always finds a way to power back into this thing, and another back suplex will do the trick. Lifts him up to his feet here. Goto could be in right now. Third time in this match, he'll go for that suplex. Will he get it? He won't. Big counter from Roode. Big counter from Roode. Spine buster from him as well. Will this end things here? One. Goto still possessing fire. Still possessing heart. Kicks out. Kicks out. Shinlock applied now, trying to wear him down with everything he's got in him, trying to tire him out here. These two guys have got to be exhausted in this main event. But what gives first? Is it Roode or is it Goto? Who gives out first? Who can take no more? Kick attempt, counter, great counter by great counter by Roode. Roode, glorious DDT! On the cover on Goto. 2. He's done it. Bobby Roode retains the United States Championship. And he did it. No controversies. No illegitimacies. Just a victory for the Glorious One. Hirooki Goto tried. Hirooki Goto gave it everything he had. But it was not enough to dispel the Glorious One of the title. Bobby Roode has done it. Still your United States champion is Bobby Roode. And a phenomenal main event comes to a close with Roode still atop the United States Championship division. Dismay for Goto, but joy for the Glorious One. What a night to talk about here on Raw as well. Plenty to discuss as we head on, continuing on in this new year. But that will do things for this episode of Raw. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.